Hey guys, welcome. Today I'm going to be unhauling some books. I just filmed my book haul. It's really hot in here because I've turned my fan off, otherwise it's really loud. So don't mind me, but I do have some books to unhaul. Not as many as my book haul, but this is like my second unhaul, but I've never filmed one. I just don't like getting rid of books, especially ones that I bought, because I just feel like it's a waste. Small mistakes I've made, I've learned my lesson, and so you'll see. So let's just get into it. Okay, starting up, we have these 5 books, which is the After series. I read the first book and it was okay, but I got the rest of the series thinking I was gonna love it a lot, and obviously if you've seen the movies the books aren't much better. It's just a lot of the same. Like, this first book was, it's huge, and it was just freaking, I can't remember, Tessa and, what's the other dude's name? Hardin. Yeah, Tessa and Hardin, love them. Anyways, it's just them bickering back and forth non-stop, and it's a bunch of the same, just over and over and over again. And that was just book 1. Imagine the rest. If I really want to know, I'll just watch the movies, because it's kind of like a comedy anyway. So yeah, if you like this, good for you, but for me, I just can't, because I'm barely a romance reader to begin with, so this was just too much for me. Okay, the next book I'm getting rid of is Light, and the only reason I'm getting rid of this one is because this is the hardcover edition with the people on it, and all my other books were like the fancy, like highlighted color ones, and I finally found the 6th book for really cheap, so that matched my other ones, so I'm getting rid of this one so I can have the pretty cover. Next book I'm getting rid of is Gray by E.L. James, and I have the trilogy, like the original trilogy, and I like them. They're not the best, they're not the most perfect thing in the world, but they were fun to read. And I got this thinking, you know what, I'll read it from the guy's perspective, but reading it from his perspective is really scary. Like, there's something about, I just don't like it, like the way this is told. In his perspective, he sounds like a total perv, and it's just super creepy and it's not good. There's nothing romantic or hot about this, and so I'm getting rid of it. Where did it go? I don't understand. Oh, I'm holding it. Oh my god. All these books are a series. I've not read all of them. I only read the first one and I didn't like it. Thought I was gonna love it, but it was a little too, I would say YA, but it seems middle grade for me, but there's nothing middle grade about it. There is some spicy stuff, but it just wasn't good, at least in my opinion, for me. And that is the House of Night books by PC and Kristen Cass. This is a bind up of the first 2 books, and then I have Chosen, Hunted, Untamed, Burned, and Tempted, and this one doesn't even have the dust jacket, and I got these really cheap at a used bookstore. I just, like I said, it wasn't for me. This isn't even the full series. There's like 17 books. Thank God I didn't purchase the rest of them. But yeah, I'm getting rid of these because I'm never gonna read them. So that's a lesson learned. Stop buying series without reading the first book and liking it first. I've learned my lesson, so yeah. Next is a duology, and that is Famous in Love. I actually did read this. I didn't like it. It's Bella Thorne. Bella Thorne's on the front cover because there was a TV show. This was just meh. It wasn't good. It just really wasn't for me. It's supposed to be, it's like this big love triangle about movie star, like Hollywood actresses and stuff, and it just wasn't great. And then the second one is Truly Madly Famous, and I never even read this because I didn't really like this one, so getting rid of both of those. And then these 2 are bind ups, so technically it's 4 books, but it's really only 2, and that is the Morganville Vampires, Volume 1 and Volume 2. The books are called Glass House, The Dead Girls Dance, Midnight Alley, and Feast of Fools. I read the first book, and it was okay, but like, it wasn't anything that I would ever read again, you know? I just didn't have the oomph to like try and continue the series, so there's no point in keeping it, because I have better vampire books now, so yeah, I'm getting rid of these. The rest are all standalones or ones that I just have the first book in the series of, and I just didn't like them, so some of these might be concerning to you because some of these are a lot of people's faves. But the first one is Daisy Jones and a Six. I tried. I really did. This book bored me so much. I couldn't get through it. I really couldn't. It was so boring to read. I just didn't care. And I know that's sad, but I have some of her other books. Like, I read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I love that book. Gave it 5 stars. I'm in the middle of Malibu Rising right now. Not liking it. Not a fan. But I'm gonna finish it. I have to, because it'll bother me if I don't. This one I didn't get very far into. Maybe like 25%, and I just, no, wasn't for me. The next one, I bought this one when I was like 16, and I've always had it, and I tried to read it, and I just never finished it. I got like halfway through it and gave up because it was so boring. And it was called 26 Kisses by Anna Michaels. It was at Walmart like years ago. It was like one of those random romances, and it just, no. It's about a girl who's trying to kiss a guy from every letter of the alphabet or something, and it just was dumb. Oh my god, why is it so hot in here? I just filmed another video when it wasn't this hot. I don't understand. I bet my brother turned the heat up. He cranks that heat up to like 95. And it's so hot up here. I'm gonna die. Anyways, next book. Wilder Girls. I didn't like this book. I tried to read it. I really did. I couldn't get into it. They made it seem like it was gonna be some crazy thriller. Like, that's how it's like the synopsis says it started slow. It did. It was slow. And then it says, but the teachers die one by one. Then it sounds interesting. But no, it was so boring. It was just a bunch of girls fighting over a candy bar. That's all I can remember. Yeah, it just wasn't it. And they made it like, they're trying to make romance out of it, and I just wanted a thriller. And it wasn't giving me what I wanted, so I was like, nah, I'll pass. Another one that I thought would be a cute romance, but ended up being really boring and the writing was just terrible for me, was A Little Something Different, which is a love story told from, what is it, 12? I think it's 12 different perspectives. I can't remember. There's like a bunch of different perspectives, and the whole love story is told from everybody but the 2 people that are in love. And there even includes like a squirrel that's in the park, which sounded so cool, but I was so boring at reading it. And the teachers, there's a couple teachers that are a couple of the perspectives, and hearing them talk about trying to get their kids to fall in love just seemed really like pervy in a way, and just odd and really creepy, and I didn't like it. And so I just decided I'm not gonna finish that book. Speaking of creepy and pervy, this book is a lot of people's favorites, and I don't understand why. I really don't. And I actually read the entire thing, and I just don't like it. I hate it. And that is Every Heart a Doorway by Shannon McGuire. I didn't like it. I knew who the villain or the bad person was as soon as it was like, oh my god, someone's murdering someone, who do we think it is? I knew who it was right off the bat. It was super obvious to me. So there was no plot twist for me. It was just so boring. It reads like a middle grade, and it's not a middle grade. And I don't get it. And okay, hear me out. There's one thing about this book that really threw me off. Someone dies, and they're talking about how to get rid of the body. And they compared this child, by the way, it's supposed to be a kid, like 14, 15 maybe. It's still a child. A dead girl's body to a vibrator. They compared it to a vibrator. I don't know how. I don't remember. I tried to black it out of my brain. But I remember being so grossed out by it. Like, ew. Like, what the F? It wasn't worth it. And I'm not going to continue the series. Anyways, another book that everybody likes but I don't and I despise is that There's Someone's Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. I read the whole book, and at the time it was okay. It wasn't the greatest thing I've ever read. I actually couldn't guess who the killer was, but I was so bored that I just didn't care, you know, who it was. Yeah, it just wasn't my suspense novel, you know. It wasn't good enough for me. I just remember a cornfield. That's all I remember. They made a movie, and I never understood why, because it honestly wasn't that good that I thought it needed a movie. And I tried to watch the movie, and I was so bored that I only got 5 minutes into it. Yeah, I just don't think it's for me. I don't. Next one I never even read. It was a mistake. And that is Dune by Frank Herbert. And I only got this because of Timothée Chalamet. And I knew he was going to be in the movie. And even though I would never watch that movie on my own because he was in it, I was like, oh my god, I gotta watch it. It's Timothée Chalamet. And I was like, oh my god, but first I'll buy the book and read the book. And then I knew there was a book series. And I opened it and tried to start reading it and realized I made a big mistake. Because this book is way too advanced for me. And I know a lot of people say that, but it's just the writing's really it's too hard. It's too complicated. And I just didn't care enough. And the movie sucked. And I'm sorry, I know a lot of people love the movie. I hated it. I was so bored. That whole movie bored me to death. Maybe the second one's better. I don't know. Will I watch the second one? Probably. Yeah, none of that world just wasn't for me. It reminded me of Star Wars, and I'm not a big fan of Star Wars, so yeah. Next is The Daughter Smoke & Bone. I read this. I didn't like it. I was bored. It wasn't like the worst book I've ever read or anything. I think I gave it like 3 stars. But it wasn't enough for me to pick up the other 2 books. And I have a lot of books and I need more room, so figure I might as well just get rid of this one. Here's one I don't need to explain because everyone will understand. And that is this graphic novel. There's no explanation needed, okay? I got this before the show went to crap, okay? And I never read it because it was book 3. There was no book 1. Yeah, I'm getting rid of it because no, I don't even need to, no. Alright, so this next one I never read, which I hate when I have books that I don't read and then I get rid of because I feel like it's a waste. I just knew I was never going to read it. Like, at the time when I bought it, I absolutely was going to read it. But then I realized it's such a chonky book and I need room on my shelves. So, I just decided to get rid of it. And I got this really cheap. I got this off Book Outlet for like $4. So, it's not like, oh, total loss, you know? And that's Stain by A.G. Howard. It's a fantasy standalone, I believe. And it's really pretty. I think it's a princess who runs away or something like that. And then there's like a guy, I don't know. It's, yeah. Yeah. And then this next one is, this next one is a lot of people's favorites. And I couldn't even finish it because it was so bad for me. And it's not, I don't think it's the book. I think it's me. I think I've learned that I don't like this genre. And that is The Zodiac Academy. And it's a bully romance. And I realized that that wasn't for me. Bully romances weren't for me. There was another bully romance I read that I actually liked though. But I don't remember what it was. I can't remember. Was it Punk 57? Is that considered a bully romance? I don't know. This book, I can't. The guys, I can't. I just don't care. Like, the guys in this book that everyone's supposed to love and thinks amazing, I just can't. They're too obnoxious for me. And I know that that's the whole point and eventually you're supposed to. I just can't. I can't do it. I don't have the time of day. It feels like I'm reading about a bunch of like teenagers that never decided to grow up. Like I can't explain it. It's like a bunch of immature boys who think that picking on girls is fun and I just can't get into it. And the magic system's just too annoying. No. I can't do it. I found out bully romances weren't for me. And I was gonna buy the entire series. I'm really glad I didn't because I actually really tried to give it a try because I know a lot of people love it and I really wanted to like it too, but I just couldn't. So yeah. And then the last 2 I have aren't really novels. They're interesting. This one, I actually did read the entire thing and it's very big, but it wasn't what I thought it was gonna be and that's why I'm getting rid of it because I'm kind of bummed out about it. It was $30. That's expensive for me, okay? What is this called? The Library of Esoterica, I don't know, it just says tarot. And it's like the history of tarot. But listen, when I bought this, I thought it was gonna be like explaining in depth, like each tarot card and like what they mean and how they're supposed to be used. Like I thought it was gonna be like a guide of how to kind of thing, and it definitely was not that. It was actually like the history of the art of tarot and like where tarot came from, but it was mostly just based on the art, and it's just like an entire illustrated book about showing the art of different showing the art of different kinds of tarot by different people. And that's great, but that's not what I wanted. And so I did read the whole thing, but I'm not going to keep it because it takes up too much room on my shelves and somebody else can appreciate it. So yeah. And then the last book I have here is one I got really cheap at a used bookstore, and I thought I was going to like it and read it, and then I started reading it and got really bored, and I don't know if that's just me or if I got in a book slump, but that is Percy Jackson's Greek Heroes, this big giant book. And I thought I would like it, but I don't know, it wasn't for me. I think I've learned my lesson is that I'm not into Greek mythology as much as I thought I was. Like, I'm trying to be, but I can't. It just bores me too much. I don't know why. It's a me thing. And this is really pretty. I mean, There's lots of pretty illustrations in here and stuff. Like, ooh, like, look. It's beautiful. But it just wasn't for me. So yeah, this also takes up a lot of room on my shelf because it's huge. Also, when I bought it, it looked like someone tried to eat the spine when I bought it, and so that bothers me too. But yeah, so that's that. And that's the last book. My battery's dying. That's great. I'm gonna count up how many real quick so I can tell you. 30 books. 30 books technically. Technically it's like 34, 35 because of the bind ups I have, but if it's physical book format, it's 30. So yeah, I think that's good for me. I try. I'm probably not going to do another unhaul until like 2 or 3 years from now because I hate getting rid of books. I despise it. So yeah, if you like this video, give a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.